Karen, who is a retired teacher, has texted in, and this is an issue that's gained a lot of traction in this past week. Karen says, nobody would agree that it is acceptable for young children to be exposed to books with sexually explicit photos in library books, but this is not happening. This is misinformation. So how is it that a very small group of radical parents can garner so much action when thousands of concerned, nonpartisan Albertans are being ignored when they voice their worries about underfunding of education, overcrowded classrooms, lack of resources such as EAs and librarians, and poor curriculum development? These are current issues that must be addressed right now and could be addressed, but instead you are fussing about 4 books. Time to get priorities straight.
Well, I don't know. Pornography is a real problem for young adults. It's so accessible, and I don't think 7-year-olds should be exposed to pornographic images. Here's the thing, Wayne. If I am not permitted to describe to you the kind of images that 7-year-olds are seeing because it would offend your audience, then we shouldn't be showing them to 7-year-olds. I would encourage anyone with the parental warning label that we have online, go and look at the images yourself, and you'll be scratching your head wondering how it is any of these books ever got into elementary schools in the first place. So yeah, I think it's important that we make sure that young children are exposed to age-appropriate material only, and that they're not exposed to pornographic images early. But that being said, we can solve all of the problems at once, where we have the ability to work on many things at the same time. And right now we're in the middle of a consultation with the public and with teachers, including members of the ATA who are helping us out, and I'm grateful to them for that, on aggression and complexity in the classroom. That is the biggest issue that we've been hearing from teachers, that in some situations, violent students are making life unsafe for our teachers. In other cases, so many kids with complex needs without the support of education assistants are making classrooms unmanageable. So we are doing a summer consultation on that, and I hope that we get some good frontline responses about some of the things we might be able to do to address that.
Well, let's take a quick, closer look at some of the pros and cons. So you had LGBTQ advocate community member Blaine Badiuk spoke out in favor of the new policy. Edmonton Public School Board said the deadline to remove materials by the start of October will come too soon and put undue pressure on teachers. And then you have the other people, as Karen suggested in her text, that, look, we've got other issues regarding education, underfunding, overcrowded classrooms. Where do you draw the line? What's the balance?
Oh, well, I draw the line that you shouldn't have pornographic images shown to children. I just think that's pretty straightforward. The older that you get, and obviously once you get to be of age, you're able to experiment yourself. But when you're 7 years old, I think it's time for us to have a little bit more of a protective environment towards our kids, and that's what we're going to do.
What about the funding for education for overcrowded classrooms?
Yeah, that is exactly what our consultation is about. What we have done in the past is we have given money to school boards to address these issues. They're either supposed to go to hire more teachers so you have smaller class sizes, or to hire education assistants so that you've got an extra hand or two in the classroom. What we're observing is that we're not seeing enough education assistants hired, quite frankly. And so we're going to be doing some consultation to see if we need to be a little more hands-on in how those resources get deployed. Or we need to put parameters in place for how many complex kids you can have in a single integrated classroom. This is what we're consulting on right now. I don't want to prejudge what the outcome is, but that's exactly what it is that we need to solve right now.